Aku beraninya sih pag-erase ni. Kailangan ko pag-erase sana. Erase na anak ko. Erase na.
na si kaduwarang. Hello, good afternoon. So it's already 1:30 p.m. So, okay, 1:30 naman. So we will already start our briefing on online fidelity bonding system. So to start this afternoon's activity, we will start the activity by a prayer. So after the prayer will be the singing of the Philippine National Anthem. So this afternoon's activities, online fidelity bonding system orientation,
in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of good health and peace that we have enjoyed for so many years. As we find ourselves in this time of crisis today, we ask for your divine intervention and mercy to be upon each of us. Come and guide the minds of those working to discover a treatment to the COVID-19 virus. Grant them wisdom, knowledge, and clarity of mind, so that all peoples will be free from the threat of this ailment. We also pray for the healthcare workers that are standing in the front line of this battle. Father, we thank you for their hearts of service, putting the needs of society before their own, generously responding to the cry of your people. We ask that you will grant them strength and protection as they give of themselves in selfless service. May you fill them with your Holy Spirit as they work to be your healing hands and feet. Father, we also surrender to you all those who have been afflicted with the virus. Grant them your healing grace, merciful Father, so that they may recover swiftly and continue to be witnesses of your love in their lives. Mother Mary, we ask for your intercession in this great time of need. Cover each of us with your blue mantle of protection, so that we may be preserved in good health to continue to glorify your Son, Jesus Christ. We make this prayer through Christ our Savior and Redeemer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, pero sa silakanan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang pinirang, kuya ka ng pag-ibig, sa mandulupin, di ka pasisipin, sa nagalang tutok sa simulan, sa langit mo pagaw, ay hinatang tulakaw.
welcome to this afternoon orientation on online fidelity bonding for the 3rd District Municipality of Bohol. So to welcome this afternoon's activity, let's welcome Ma'am Chloe Piredeja for her welcome remarks.
To our partner agents from the 3rd District of Bohol, good afternoon to all. As mandated by law, we are to band all accountable officials and employees pursuant to the provisions of the public banding law. This process is being done annually. So as part of the Bureau's digitalization, we bring you this quick and easy access to our services. It will eliminate the over-the-counter transactions for us to follow the strict health protocols during this pandemic. To provide our clients a more convenient and efficient way of processing the fidelity bond applications, the filling up of forms, payment, and issuance of confirmation letters, this will be done online. On behalf of the BTr Bohol Treasury, I would like to welcome you all to today's orientation of the online fidelity bonding system. We hope that we have a productive session this afternoon and don't hesitate to ask questions. Once again, good afternoon to all. Let us now hear from our resource person, Mr. Judy Lopez, our Treasury Operations Officer 3.
So thank you, Ma'am Flu, for that wonderful welcome remarks to begin this afternoon's orientation on online fidelity bonding system. So mayong hapon sa tanan. So the flow of the presentation this afternoon's meeting or orientation session is first with giving an overview of the online fidelity bond application and management that refers to the online fidelity bonding system. Second, we will show to you the process under the online fidelity bonding using the OFBS. Third, there will be a demo or we will walk through the system so that you can appreciate the system from account or role registration up to the processing of your application, whether new, renewal, cancellation, retirement of your fidelity bond. Lastly, we will be having our Q&A session. So what is OFBS? The OFBS is a module of the National Government Collection and Modified Disbursement System. Primarily, the function of the Bureau is the monitoring of the national collections and disbursements of the government. The Bureau developed a system that integrates both functions to gather real-time data and information. And included in this system is the module on the online fidelity bonding management system, which ensures safety and provides insurance for employees of the Philippine government. The OFBS allows all accountable public officers to apply fidelity bond online. However, such application must be authorized first by the approver before it will be awarded and authorized by the BTR. So what are the objectives of the OFBS? First, to provide the agency with an online facility for the application of fidelity bond. So nowadays, during this time of COVID-19 pandemic, most of the government agencies are gradually migrating their manual process to online. Second, to lessen transaction time by providing a seamless workflow for review and approvals. Later on, you'll be observing the flow of transactions from filling out of forms by accountable public officers to the approval of its agency head. Third, to keep everyone safe in this time of COVID-19 pandemic by allowing our clients a venue to apply for a fidelity bond online. So we will present to you an audio-visual presentation of the online fidelity bonding system.
Welcome to the Bureau of the Treasury's online fidelity bond application portal. The online fidelity bond application portal will allow quick and easy access to fidelity bond application. This platform will allow government employees accountable for cash and properties to fidelity bond certificate in the most convenient way. So are you applying for a fidelity bond or subject for renewal?
Unday!
Easy steps in using the online
Pumasa ko
fidelity bond
headset,
application portal. Step
Pumasa
1.
ko
Log
headset,
on
hindi
and
ko ka.
register to the
Tuloy
online
seminar.
fidelity bond application portal. Step 2. Accomplish the needed forms online. The system will automatically complete the feeds. Step 3. Pay online. Once payment is received and supporting documents are submitted and validated, BTR will issue the confirmation letter. Get ready to experience quick and easy government service through the online Fidelity Bond application portal. The online Fidelity Bond application portal is a testament of the Bureau of the Treasury's commitment to make government service quick and easy. Take part in this digital innovation and transformation. The Bureau of the Treasury is committed towards makabago, maunlad, at mabisang pamamahala ng ingatang yaman.
So the OFDS has 4 components. Ako sang i-mute. Ako sang i-mute tanan. Kaya mo feedback. So the OFDS has 4 components. First, if an accountable public officer has an internet browser, he or she can access the Fidelity Bond portal for application for Fidelity Bond. Second, there is also a means of online payment integrated in the system through Land Bank link-based portal. Third, processing of Fidelity Bond follows a systematic workflow. It is forwarded from one user from the agency to the BTR. Aside from paying online, clients may opt to pay over-the-counter transactions. So when the client opt to pay the over-the transactions, BTR will now prepare the authority to accept payment or ATAP for those who will be paying over-the-counter. OFDS, it gives flexibility. Clients can either pay online or go over-the-counter transactions. So who are involved in the OFDS? So the same with our existing system, the same group of individuals are involved in the OFDS. These are the personnel of the government offices who have role in the system in processing the Fidelity Bond. So who are they? At the agency level, we have the accountable public officers of the government who perform. Sorry na, disconnect ang internet. So at the agency level, we have the bondable, accountable public officers of the government who perform duties that requires or permits the possession, custody, or control of public funds or properties. Under the OFBS, they are classified as the users. So next on the tier are your administrator and approver. So these two can be the one and the same person depending on the structure of your agency. If the operating unit is just small or the structure is flat, the approver, the admin or approver can be the same person. And the next, so the online fidelity bonding system consists of multiple user levels for each organization and its branches. So as illustrated in the previous slide, namely the admin, approver, and the users, each level has its role and function to the website and agency. With these levels, there are different hierarchical flow and user access that the system have. Later on, we will present to you the different roles of those account types. On top of the system is our MIS. Sorry ka ma-disconnect ang internet kay gawan uwan naman diri sa Tagbilaran ay. So at the provincial level, we have the BTr Provincial Office Administrator. The Provincial Office Administrator is the one who will create the Provincial Office Approver, of which on the system it's auto-approved. And the Provincial Office User, which is registered or enrolled by the Provincial Office Administrator, but approved by the Provincial Office Administrator. So at your agency level or at the LGU level, the agency or LGU administrator is enrolled or nominated by your head of agency. So once nominated by your head of agency, it will be enrolled by the provincial office administrator. So once enrolled na inyong agency administrator, he or she will now enroll your agency approver, which is auto-approved onto the system, while your agency user will be enrolled by your agency administrator, but approved by your agency approver. So as you can see into the illustration, you can now see that there is a decentralization of enrolling and approval of users onto the system. So what will be enrolled by the provincial office administrator is only your LGU administrator of the system. So therefore, your agency administrator has now the authority to enroll your agency approver and user onto the system. So the credential for administrator is centralized at the BTR. So once agency admins are created, it now becomes decentralized. Why? Because the agency administrators can now create their own agency approvers and users of the system. So the creation of accounts at the agency level is decentralized after the creation of your admin account. Likewise, they can manage their accounts and give them their respective role. So on top of our hierarchical flow of authority is the BTR system admin or our MISS admin. So having the highest level of authority in the system, it manages the account creation, approvals of the provincial, district offices of BTR, as well as oversees the entirety of the system itself. So what is the role or ability of the BTR system admin? So the BTR system admin can view the list of active admins, activate and deactivate provincial office admins and accounts, see the approval list of the newly created provincial office admins approve and reject newly created users. At the provincial office level, we have the provincial office admin, where the provincial office admin creates and approves user and approval roles for the provincial office, as well as the admin roles of your NGA, LGU, and GOCC. So what is the role or the ability of our provincial office admin? So the provincial office admin can view the list of active agencies admins, PO approvers, and PO users. He or she can also add new provincial office approvers and users, add and approve new admins for each agency, whether NGA, GOCC, or LGU. He or she can also deactivate all users in the activated accounts list. So the provincial approver approves user roles, confirms ban applications, and activates confirmation letters. So what is the role or ability of our provincial approver? So the provincial approver can see the approval list of created provincial office users, activate ban applications, and approve or reject created provincial office users. Next will be the provincial office user, where you will be submitting through online, through scan email, and face-to-face in case we will be already in the, after nasa pandemic, mag face-to-face na ta. So, ang tumag ni provincial office user mo submit sa inyong ban application to manually create the authority to accept payment for the over-the-counter payment. So the provincial user will be the one who will tag them as paid into the system and creates and sends confirmation letter of activated bonds for the provincial approver. So what is the role of the ability of our provincial office user? So the provincial user can generate report in different format like master list of maturing bonds, canceled bonds, bonded per agency type, bonded by organization code, and its monthly bond premium report. So let's go now at your agency level. So who are your agency admins? So the official designated by the head of your agency is responsible for the creation of your approver and user accounts for processing of fidelity bond applications. So your agency admin will now be the one who is nominated by your head of agency as the administrator of the website or on the system for your LGU. So he or she will oversee the activities of bond applications and its accounts role. So what is the role or the ability of your agency admin? So your agency admin can view the list of active agency approvers and users, add new approvers and users, activate or deactivate all users of the agency. Who are your agency approvers? So the head of agency shall be created by the agency admin, of which, as we have presented in the slide presentation, that it is auto-approved on the system. So no need to be approved by your agency admin because it's already auto-approved. So what are the requirements of being an agency approver? For agency approver or its designated representative, there is no specific qualifications as long as they are with authority and have credibility due to the responsibility attached to the role. It is the call of the agency to assign the approver. So what is the role or the ability of your agency approver? So the agency approver your agency approver can approve agency users, approve bond applications, and process online payment transactions. So it's only your agency approver can select this process online payment transactions. So no other account rule in the OFBS can select the process online payment, but only your agency approver can do this ability. So let's go now to our agency user. So who are our agency user? So the bondable public official or employee shall be created by your agency admin and to be approved by your agency approver. So the user can also apply for fidelity bonding on behalf of other accountable officials and employees, as in the case of agencies with centralized processing for fidelity bond or for those applications in groups. So let's now go now to the user registration. The creation of your agency administrator is done by the BTr Provincial Office Administrator. So the provincial office admin creates user with admin role and approves the created admin account. So once this account is approved, the system will automatically send its credentials and its temporary password to the registered email of your agency admin. So in order for your agency admin to be registered, he or she needs to fill out the user enrollment form. So after this orientation, we will be sending this form to your respective head of agencies for nomination. So to fill up the form and email it back to us to bohol@treasury.gov.ph. So this form will be emailed after this orientation for nomination of your head of agency, your designated agency administrator of the system. So right now, I will be showing to you the user enrollment form and how it is to be filled up. So this is the user enrollment form that we will be sending after this orientation. So first, the enrollment form is your email address. Then after your email address is your first name. So next will be your access rights. So user group is LGU, MKGOCCGFI. Then next, at the right side, in the application form, you will auto drop choose LGU. Next is your system role. So system role, auto drop, you will choose admin. Then to the organization, you will leave it as blank, the department and the agency role and the acronym. So you will leave it as blank. Then operating unit is LGU dash the name of. So the location, so region, R7, then province, Bohol. So the district here indicated is not the congressional district that we are using, because the district here represents the national capital region. So for us, in the provinces, we will indicate the name of our province, which is Bohol. Then in the city or municipality, for example, you will input here the name of your municipality. Then next will be the signatories of the nominated agency admin. So signature here of your administrator nominated by your head of agency. The next, the full name of your user. The next position, then date filed, for example, today. Then signature of your head of agency. So the head of agency of municipalities are your municipal mayor. So full name of head of agency, for example, Honorable Eugenio Ibarra, then designation is municipal mayor. Then at the bottom part of the user enrollment form, this will be filled up by us in the BTR provincial office. The generated username from the username generator, we will fill up in here, then date created, then signature of the BTR admin, tapos full name of the BTR admin. So of course, the username generator that we are using, we will also be sending it to you, to your agency administrator, so that we will have a standardized username to be used in the OFBS. So we will have a standardized username. So let's go back to the slide presentation. So once the agency administrator is created, he or she can now create users with the approver role. So as previously mentioned, your agency approver, once created, is auto-approved onto the system. So once approved, the system will automatically send a verification to the email containing its credentials and temporary password. So here's an illustration on the registration of your agency approver on the OFBS. So once your agency administrator receives his or her log credentials, he can now create your agency approver. Using the credentials emailed to him by the system, he needs to log in the system the correct credentials. After logging in, he will be redirected to this portal. So once logged in, at the left side of the browser, at the navigation bar, so your agency admin will see here at the navigation bar, the user management. So after clicking the user management, auto drop, he or she will now see the manage users. After seeing this, he will click the manage users, and at the right side, facing your desktop computer, is the button add user. So once click that add user, the agency admin will now enroll your agency approver. So upon enrolling your agency approver, still the same, your agency admin will use the username generator so that we will have a standardized username into the system. Of course, the email address that being used by your agency approver, the first name of your approver, middle name, last name, and the position title, of which auto-drop ni siya, you can choose agency approver. Then here in the access rights, you will choose LGU, city, or municipality. Then system role, agency approver. Then wala ni siyang organization, for national agencies lang siya. So automatically, you will see sa enrollment will be the location. So we would like also to inform you that you should be careful in enrolling your approver and user. Because if your position title and access rights are not the same, so there will be an issue on the approval of your application. So once they're incompatible, we will try to request our head office for the correction of your enrollment. So we would like also your agency admin to be very careful in enrolling your approver and user into the system. And next also, a reminder for your agency administrator, the location. So we should be very careful sa location. For example, sa region, auto-drop man siya, you will just only choose Region 7, Central Visayas. So kung you choose other region, so there are tendency nga imong application for fidelity bonding will be seen and forwarded to other regions, so not on Region 7, Central Visayas. So you should be very careful in enrolling and checking all credentials that are inputted that are correct. So when you are encoding or inputting the correct region, so automatically auto-drop man ang name sa mga provinces. So you can see here sa provinces, name na Bohol, Cebu, Siquijor, and Negros Oriental. So in province, you will choose Bohol. Tapos city or municipality, you just auto-drop man siya, makita na nimo imuhang municipality. Then before you click this button submit, you should first review the enrollment or your inputted data of your approver. So before you click submit, you already double check that all data that you encoded are already correct. So once you click this button, automatically the system will send its credential and temporary password to your agency approver because the agency approver is auto-approved onto the system. So once this is the illustration. So once we already have the credentials of our agency approver, the agency admin will also enroll as user of the system. So here is the illustration in the enrollment of your agency user. So who will be the one who will create your agency user? So the agency administrator will be the one who will create your agency user. Then the agency approver will approve the created account. So it is the agency admin who will decide whether to approve or reject. The agency approver will be the one who will decide to approve or reject the enrolled agency user of your agency admin. So as you can see onto this full diagram, your LGU admin will be the one who will enroll or create your agency user. So once enrolled, so makita po niya sa iyong dashboard that the enrollment of your agency user is for approval of your approver. So automatically in the dashboard of your LGU approver, he can see that there is for approval of user on the system. So your LGU approver will be the one who will approve or reject the user rights of your So once approved by your agency approver, that's the time that your agency user will receive its credentials and its temporary password. So if it will be rejected, so the agency approver, the user will not have an access onto the system. So once if approved, yes, the system will send email verification with temporary password to the registered email. So let's go now to the illustration. So here's the illustration on the registration of your agency user and approver into the system. So your agency admin will log in his or her username and password with the correct credential. So once logged in, he will be seeing this portal. So at the navigation panel, the agency admin will click user management. After clicking user management, auto-drop na siya, makita niya ang manage users. So after clicking manage users, your agency admin will click this button, add user. So when clicking add user, your agency admin will be enrolling your approver and your user into the system. So this will be the portal that your agency admin will be seeing. So after this slide presentation, we will be having a demonstration so that you can much more appreciate the enrollment of your approver and user into the system. So as what we have said, the position title and the access rights must be compatible or the same. Because if you will input here different position title and access rights, there will be an issue on the access rights that will be given to the system. Because what will prevail is not the position title, but your access rights. For example, you input here as agency approver, but your access right that being enrolled by your agency admin is agency user. So your agency approver cannot be an agency approver, but a agency user. So with this discrepancy, you will inform us so that we will inform our central office for the adjustment or correction of the role or position title and access rights that your agency admin has enrolled into the system. So another emphasis when enrolling your approver and user into the system is the location. So we should be very careful in enrolling a region. So the correct region is Central Visayas. Then when you click here Central Visayas, the province name of provinces within Region 7 will be auto-drop. So you will choose the provinces here, then choose Bohol. And then if you choose Bohol, so auto-drop, put cities or municipalities under Bohol. So you will click here your municipality. So after reviewing your credentials that you encoded into the access rights or user enrollment, then you will click here submit. So once na-click na ni mag-submit to siya, your agency user under the system, sa iyang dashboard ni agency admin, makita ninyo nga ang enrollment ng agency user is for approval. It's because maka-approve ra kang agency user sa system or maka-access siya or maka-file siya fidelity bond is only your agency approver. So it's now the agency approver's credential to click approve so that your agency user can apply now for a fidelity bond. So once approved, so still the same, your agency approver will open his or her credentials. Then at the navigation panel, he will click manage users, then auto-drop manage users, approve users. So makita niya dito ang name sa user sa system. So once seen, he will just click approve or reject. So that's the time that the agency user will receive his or her credentials and the temporary password. So these things will be shown to you in our demonstration sa account creation and role registration so that you can much more appreciate ang account registration. So let's go now to the fidelity bond application or the filing of your fidelity bonding. So the OFBS has the following features. First, the online fidelity bond calculator. There is a fidelity bond calculator at the home page of the OFBS and when filling out the forms. Second, it follows a hierarchical approval process. It starts from your agency user or the accountable public officer to the agency approver, then to the BTR user and to the BTR approver. The review and approval are routed into the system. It is automatically routed to the next level in the hierarchy for approval or for processing, and a status of the application can be seen in the dashboard. For over-the-counter transactions, authority to accept payment or ATAP is still generated. So the trail of the transaction is well documented and reflected in the dashboard. So you can see the status of your application. So it can also be paid through Land Bank Linkbase portal. So once approved by your agency approver, it now forwards to BTR PO or BTR PO for the issuance of ATAP for those who will be paying over-the-counter transactions. So we will showing to you an illustration of the processing of the application. So first, it will start from the bondable accountable public officer. He will fill up the application form online. So once filled up, it will be automatically forwarded to the account of the agency approver for review and approval. So in case, if the agency approver will reject the application encoded by the agency user or the accountable officer, it will go back to the public officer. So for correction or editing of the encoded application. So the agency approver, upon rejecting the application, there will be a dialog box that will that will prompt, so the agency approver will input the reason why he or she rejects the application. So in case if the agency approver approve the application, if yes niya ang application, it will now be on the dashboard of the agency approver whether to pay online or to submit to BTR for the issuance of ATAP for presentation sa bank. So let's now see if the agency approver choose to pay online. So if the agency approver chose to pay online through Land Bank LinkBiz portal, so the agency approver will now be redirected to the Land Bank LinkBiz portal. So the agency approver will now input the account number where hinay ka internet ba? Ba internet sa office mo? So once you pay through Land Bank LinkBiz portal, we will validate your payment through Land Bank LinkBiz portal. Of course, you will present to us the payment confirmation generated from the Land Bank LinkBiz portal. So we will reconcile the payment you have done through Land Bank LinkBiz portal. So once verified, that's the time that the BTR PDO user will activate the bond confirmation letter in the activated bonds. So once activated, it will now be forwarded to the BTR PO chief for approval. So once approval, it will be forwarded back to the BTR user for printing. So after printing, it will now be forwarded again to the BTR provincial office chief for his or her signing. So once masayna na to siya, that's the time that we will release the confirmation letter to the LGUs. So with this COVID-19 pandemic, it will be still the same. We will do it on a scan email, but hopefully if we're already on the wala na tayo pandemic, it will be a face-to-face transaction. So these illustrations that we are showing to you, it is for the face-to-face transaction. But due to COVID pandemic, we will still use the scan email as a health protocol measure to limit the face-to-face transaction. So of course, as you can see sa yung confirmation letter, the electronic signature, we are still using the electronic signature in the approval of your confirmation letter. But in case you chose the over-the-counter transactions because you don't have any land bank access, we will issue the authority to accept payment. So still the same, for you to have an ATAP, you will submit the approved fidelity bond application form and list of bonded generated in the system to our official email, and please also include your preferred government depository bank and its branch. So once you email into us, we will manually create the ATAP, and then after that we create the ATAP, we will send it to you to your email so that you will now present it to the authorized government depository bank. So once you present the ATAP, it now will be validated by the bank. So once validated, you will scan email back to us. So your ATAP will still be validated and confirmed from the daily national collections report submitted by the bank to the BTR. So once confirmed, that's the time that the BTR user will activate the bond and the activated bond. So once activated, it will be forwarded for the provincial chief for the approval. So once approved, it will be forwarded again to the BTR user for the printing, because si PDR user naman ang na-enroll nga maka-print sa confirmation letter. So once printed, go back kay PO chief for signing. So after masignan or through he attach his or her electronic signature, it will be sent to your official email as proof that you already applied for a fidelity bond. So this will be the complete scenario of the online fidelity bonding using the online payment or the over-the-counter transactions through authorized government depository bank. So for batch filing, so still the same. You will input the application, all applications of your accountable officers, then forwarded kang agency approver, then mo approve sa agency approver, yes or no, kung ino, mo balik siya kang ang user sa system. So makita niya dito ang reason why it was disapproved. So still the same, if he will choose pay online, ma-redirected sa agency approver sa Land Bank Link-Biz portal. Tapos kung by default, nila niya gi-choose ang pay online, so automatically for BTR submission siya for issuance of ATAP. So once maka-issue, for us to manually create the ATAP from the OFBS, you will scan email due to pandemic. But kung wala na yung pandemic, face-to-face, you will come to our office for the creation of ATAP that you already filled the application form online, tapos naka-print, naka-list of banded. So you will come at our office for the generation of ATAP or presentation of the ATAP to the bank. So once you pay it to the bank, scan email to us or you come to our office so that we will verify your payment. Once verified, that's the time we will activate your bond. So once activated, forwarded for PO chief for approval. Once approved, it will forwarded back to PDO user for printing. So once printed, it will be at the PO chief will attach his or her signature electronically or manually, sign the document, then we will release the confirmation letter to you or scan email. So during this pandemic, scan email ang among buhaton. But of course, kung wala na yung pandemic, we will release the document or the confirmation letter to you. But of course, if you needed yung sa COA ang original sign, you can contact us so that we can set an appointment for you to release the confirmation letter. But of course, we already knew nga authorized naman karon ang electronic signature in government transactions. So let's go now to the filling out of forms by your agency user. So as you can see, it's only the agency user can fill up the forms online. So it's not the agency approver or the agency admin has the ability to fill up the forms online. So once your agency user already has his or her credentials, he or she can already can fill up the application form in the OFBS. So your agency user will now log in his or her credentials and then click login. So for the first time that your agency user will use the system, this will be the first that he or she will see that he or she would like to change the password. So in case your agency user will change his or her password, it must be one uppercase, one number, and at least eight characters before he or she can change his or her temporary password. So once ma-change na niya ang password, or he can opt to do not change, he will now click this button kay Manage Fidelity Ban. So after clicking that button, Manage Fidelity Ban, he will now be redirected to this portal. So as you can see, that the portal that the agency user can see is new ban. Why? Because we don't have a migration of our Fidelity Ban application system, which is a standalone application that we are using at the office. So before the pandemic, it was FBUS. But during this pandemic, we shifted to an Excel-based processing of Fidelity Bonding so that we can automatically generate a PDF file of the ATAP and confirmation letter because the FBUS has become incompatible of our processing. So with OFBS, na-integrate na din ang creation of ATAP, application form, list banded through PDF because PDF man siya tanan mag-generate ka. So mas easier ang pag-send, pag-attach of file. So si agency user or accountable officer will click this button kaning new ban. So basig matahap niya mo na your application for Fidelity Ban will be new. So by default, all applications that we are receiving will be automatically be new. So once na-click na ni agency user ang new, so once your agency user, accountable officer, click the new one, so he or she will be redirected to this filling up of the application forms. So as you can see, the portal, the personal information is the same with the manual form 58A that we are using. So as you can see sa form 58A that you are writing, you will give your given name, your middle name, surname, address, then the date of birth, place of birth. So it's just only that you are encoding your details online. So that you will already print the fidelity bond application form online. Then once approved by your agency approver. So this, you will fill up this form. So once complete na siya, you will click this button submit. So in case you have an unstable internet connection, just like us, that currently we have an unstable internet connection, you will click this button save as draft, so that in case you will be disconnected from the internet, you will not begin from the very beginning. So when you click this button before having a intermittent disconnection of your internet, so you will just only begin from the time that you have been disconnected from the internet. So when you click this button, upon clicking this button, so you will just only begin from the time before you've been disconnected from your internet. So of course, when you didn't fill up all the fields necessary into this portal, you cannot click this button continue. So that's you can only click this button continue if you fill up all the necessary fields in the application form online. So once click continue, you will now be redirected to the next portion of the filling up of application form online. So you will now give us your 3-character reference, address, and contact number. So in case you just only give us 2-character reference, still the same, you cannot click this button continue. So you need to fill up the 3-character reference with address and contact number. So still the same, if you have intermittent internet connection, please save as draft for you to not to begin from the very beginning. So when you click this button save as draft, so you just only begin from the time that you click this save as draft and be disconnected from the internet. So number 15, I declare that the answer to the foregoing questions are true to the best of my knowledge and belief. I fully understand that any misrepresentation made in this application and supporting documents shall cause the filing of administrative or criminal case against me. So this portion, if you will see, we will present to you a screen grab of the application form. So this portion will be notarized by a notary public. So this will present to you your government issued ID card. So auto-drop ni siya, there are ID cards that you can choose that are with you in possession or in your custody. So you will choose here, then input the card number, date issued, then place issued, then date when accomplished. So kung okay na ang mga details that you encoded, you can click continue. But again, if you miss one field of here not encoded, you cannot click continue because you need to fill up all the fields that are necessary. So kung complete na, you can click continue for you to be encoding the next. Next will be the computation of your fidelity bond. So for example, for the bond coverage. So as what we have already informed you, or through our advisory, to our email, that the fidelity bond coverage by default is 1 year. But of course, you can choose whether to extend the bond coverage from 2 to 3 years. So auto-drop ni siya, so you can choose 2 or 3 years. For example, for municipal mayor and municipal treasurer, so the public funds will be as signing officer. So for your revenue collection clerk or your disbursing officer or liquidating officer, you can choose here whether disbursing or collecting sila. But for the municipal treasurer and municipal mayor, as signing officer na siya. Tapos kung na may property custodian or supply officer, ano po mo sa public property mo input. So as to inventories, the amount to be declared by your accountable officer is the inventories per GAAM, amount based on GAAM. Tapos sa property, as property custodian, you will input here the net book value. Next will be on the accountable forms and other valuable forms and other valuables. So here na internal revenue stamps, postage, and other stamps stock, official receipt, tapos other forms and valuables. So at the bottom of the declaration of accountability, you can see here the total accountability being totaled by the system. Then automatically, the system will recommend the bond amount and the premium. So example, atong example is collecting at disbursing tag 500. So 1 million accountability, the amount of bond is 500. The premium is 7,500 per year. So example, 1 year lang di-chose ni accountable officer. So 7,500 ang ihang balayranan. So the declaration of accountability is the accountable officer here. But of course, this declaration can be reviewed by your agency approver because the declaration of accountability is the head of agencies. It is the head of agency who will be the one who will declare the accountability because the accountability, you are the one who knows your accountability. It's not from the BTR because we from the BTR, we could not see your transactions or your disbursement vouchers or your collection reports. So it's you, the accountable officer, and your head of agency or your approver that will assess your maximum accountability. So let's go now to the last part in the filling up of the application form. So now, for this will be the summary. Bond coverage that you chose is 1 year. Total accountability, then total bond, for example, is 75,000. Then premium is 1,125. So the name of agency, for example, this is the name of agency. Then the title or position or designation. So the position that you will write here is the position that is based on your appointment or your as per your appointment. So auto-drop ni siya nga position title nga naa diri. So in case wala diri imo position na nasa auto-drop, you can choose others. So when you chose others, you will just type the correct position. The accountable officer so when inputting here your title or position or designation, so for example the position is a revenue collection clerk. So the second position so sa position, for example, is the revenue collection clerk. So wala siya diri sa auto drop. She will just only choose others, then input the correct position. Tapos second position will be the one. So after your position here, the station, for example, for the municipality, because the addressee of the confirmation letter is generic. So for example, the confirmation will be addressed the municipal mayor. Then after the name of the municipal mayor, municipality of, for example, municipality of Duero. So the station, for you to be known nga naka sa municipal treasurer's office, you will input here sa station or division nimo, municipal treasurer's office. Tapos sa date of designation or assumption, you will write here when you will be ano sa kana designate, or based on sa imong appointment as regular municipal treasurer, you will input here the date of your assumption on the accountability. So once you already finish review and input your data, you will click this button finish. So once finished, you can see now sa imong dashboard as the agency user of the system that your application is for agency approval. So as you can see, for agency approval, ang imong gi-input, gi-encode ng application. So let's go now to the portal or for the portal ni agency approver. So kung sa iyang makitaan. So still the same, your agency approver. Ayun na lang. Ako lang i-share ako. Madala pa man. So once your agency approver, once na human na to ni mag-input, ma-forward na to kang agency approver. So for the first time, agency approver mo open sa iyahang credentials, still the same. This will prompt sa iyaha, would you like to change? So still the same, one uppercase, one number, the minimum 8 characters. Pag mag-change siya sa iyang password na temporary. So that he or she can choose another password. So after changing the password, your agency approver will now click this button sa navigation panel in Fidelity Band Approval. So once click, makita niya sa iyang dashboard niya na application for agency approval. So this is a status bar, makita sa inyo ang agency approver na naay for agency approval. So this will be the button that your agency approver will click for approve. So pasensya kay sige ka disconnect ang mga internet. Internet. So this will be the dashboard that your agency approver will see sa iyahang portal. So for status, you can see nga naay gi-encode nga application si user sa system. So he or she will just click this button, approve. So once click approve, he will now be redirected to the encoded application by the accountable officer. So the agency approver will now see the data or the information encoded by your accountable officer. So once nakita na ni sa yung agency approver, ihaning i-review kung sakto ba ang pag-fill up. So your agency approver can decide whether to suspend your application or continue. So for example, your agency approver suspend your application. So this will be the portal that he will be seeing in case he or she will suspend your application. So there will be a reason that he or she will give why he or she suspend your application. So there is an auto drop reasons why he or she suspend your application. But in case kung wala din ha sa mga generated nga reason for suspending your application, your agency approver can manually type the reason for suspending your application. So he will write here why you suspend niya, then click suspend. Then sa dashboard ni accountable officer, makita niya why it was suspended. So for example, gi-approve or gi-okayhan lang yung mga application sakto ang declaration sa accountability, sa mga character reference, sa data, personal data nimo. So makita na niya ang summary kung pila ang band coverage. So it is the agency approver can upon reviewing, nakita ni dire yung accountability 100,000 for example. So this will be the time whether to approve or reject ang mga application. So it is the call of your agency approver to approve or reject your application. So when rejecting, for example, he or she sees nga lower lang ang declared accountability. So upon clicking this button reject, so he or she will input the reason for rejecting your application. So ato lang ipakita nga gi-approve niya ang application ni accountable officer. So the agency approver will see this dialog box upon approving the application. So the agency approver will see that this is to certify that as head of agency of your name of your municipality, I verify the truthfulness and the answers contained on the face of the form. Found that incorrect, then i-click, for example, i-click na niya approve. So once approved, so makita na sa dashboard ni accountable officer. Kani for example si Cruz Pedro III Villar. So na-review and approve na niya yung application. So sa status niya sa iyang dashboard, makita niya approver nga pwede niya i-pay online. So as what we have said, it is only the agency approver can choose the pay online option. So for example, he chose to pay it online. So he will now be redirected to this portal. So your agency approver, upon consultation sa accountable officer through your treasurer's office, sa budget and accounting, nga i-online payment siya para dili hassle ang pagpila sa bangko, kay especially karong pandemic, limited lang po ang pwede makasul sa bangko, so mapila pa siya sa bangko. So arong dili na hassle, i-online na lang niya ang pagbayad through land bank link BIS. So i-click ni agency approver, start payment. So when click start payment, you will be redirected to the land bank link BIS portal. So the payment option is through the land bank. You will choose your land bank ATM card. So dapat naka i-access or ATM card. So dapat naka i-access ani. So once ma-choose na nimo ang land bank ATM card, you will also input your account number from land bank. So once na-input na nimo siya, you will click submit. Once ma-click na nimo submit, you will now go to the payment summary. So there is a checkbox that you will click that I certify that I am at least 18 years old and have read and understood and agreed to the terms and conditions. Once click, you will now key in to your personal PIN number or the personal identification number on your ATM card. So once na-input na siya nimo, you will also receive a one-time password or OTP to your cell phone or to your registered mobile number at land bank. So once ma-receive na to siya nimo, you will input your one-time password from land bank here. So once ma-input na siya nimo, you will be redirected to this dialog box that you are making a non-reversible transaction. So when you click OK, so dili na siya pwede ma-refund kay automatic auto-debit man ang payment nimo from your account to BTR Land Bank head office. So once click OK, you will now see your payment confirmation of your fidelity bond from Land Bank link BIS. So you will save this payment form, then print this form, or scan email it to us. Kay pandemic man gyapon, so scan email together with your application form and your list of bonded. So afterwards, we will present to you how you will print the list of bonded in the OFDS. So no need for you to manually prepare the list of bonded. So you'll just only print your list of bonded into the system. So let's go now and how to print your list of bonded from the system. So the agency user will now log in his or her credentials. So once logged in, sa iyang dashboard, na-approve na may ang application form, makita niya sa ang application nga iyang i-input nga for BTR PDO submission. So as you can see na ay BTR PDO submission. So kani mora man iyang i-process. So for example, nakay duwa nga gi-apply. So pwede nimo i-input ang duwa ka application or you are applying for 8 persons, as many as you can apply. So mo-click lang kang new ban, kay all application will be new ban man. So for example, for the printing and release of bonded, so you will just click this checkbox at the right side of your application number. So once you check this checkbox, that's the time that this button will be activated ang print list. So once activated na ang print list, that's the time you can click this button, print list. So when you click the print list, you will be redirected to a dialog box kaning print list. So you will now input manually kinsay nag-prepared, name sa prepared by, position of the preparer, reviewed by, tapos position of the reviewer, and certified by, then position of the approver. Then you will click print. So once you click print, you will now have a list of banded generated from the system. So no need for you to manually create the list of banded. So you will just only prepare the list of banded from the system. So next, for us to print our approved fidelity bond application form is still the same in the account of our agency user. You can see here at the right side, facing your desktop computer of the agency user, na ay GF57. I-click lang siya ninyo. Upon clicking that GF57, automatically na PDF file nga mogawas. So you can see your application form nga imo na-encode o na-approve kaning sa online sa inyong approver. So you will now attach, you will print this to two copies. Then you will prepare 2 copies of 2x2 ID photo. Then here sa number 15, number 15 ba ni siya? Yes, number 15. You will sign here as an accountable officer, imong signature. Then number 16, subscribe and sworn to. So subscribe, so notary public ni siya. So dapat it will be subscribed by a lawyer. Then there is a number 31. It will be signed by your head of agency. This is certified that as head of agency of municipality of Kuan. Then for example, pirmahanan ni siya. Yung kay kung online or over the counter, still the same. Kung face-to-face, wala na yung pandemic, you will bring your payment confirmation, list of banded, application form to us. Tapos kung pandemic man siya, scan email. Then when you scan email, you will put your preferred government bank, tapos yung branch address. For example, DBP, Obay. So butani mo development bank, preferred bank, tapos ang branch niya is Obay. So as you can see, the streamlining of application forms. So previously, sa atuhang old processing, we need your appointment, oath of office, or our certification. So those things will be eliminated with the OFBS. So the streamlining of government processes and the application forms nga needed nga documents. So there will just be only 2 that you will be submitting to us, the generated list of banded into the system and the application form for a fidelity bond application form. So different po dang sa barangay. So kani siya for LGU lang siya. So in case you will be renewing or you will like to cancel your bond due to retirement or separation from government service or accountable officer, so what you will need is to input your credentials sa inyong account sa inyong agency user. So still the same, manage fidelity, mo click ra gyapon siya diri inyong user sa manage fidelity bond. Once click, this will be the dashboard that your agency user or your processor will see onto the dashboard. So as you can see, nabayaran na ni siya nga transaction. Kani BTR review din tag as paid. So next year po hon, 2022, kung imong application ni agi sa OFBS karon tuiga, so next year through OFBS yapon siya moagi. But in case wala ka naabtan sa OFBS, so you will apply for fidelity bond next year, good as new. So except karon nga maabsan karong katapusan sa May na ang application will go through OFBS. So next year po hon 2022, to aron ma-renew niya ang application for fidelity bond, iyang i-click ning button nga action ang canceled bond. So once click niya ning canceled bond, he will be redirected to a dialog box, bond cancellation, tapos reason for cancellation. For renewal, you will click others without credit. Tapos kung renewal, ay kaning increase accountability, so others with credit. So kung renewal raman, so the same raman ang accountability. Next year po hon 2022, pag click niyo sa others without credit, the accountable officer will be redirected to to the application that he or she encoded last year. So makita na niya ang na-encode ng application ng accountable officer last year. So for example, the name of official or accountable officer, for example, babayi, karon tuiga single siya, by next year na married na siya, so i-update niya iyahang family name or surname. Tapos address, so in case you transfer from one barangay to the other barangay within your municipality, of course you will update your address. Then your income, in case you have been promoted within the next year, so you will adjust your monthly income, estimated expenses. Tapos kung the same ra accountability, so still the same. Kung na-increase, so you will adjust your encoded application last year. So still the same process. Finish, then mo forward yapon to kang agency approver for approval. So let's go now to the demonstration. So let's go now to the demonstration of the OFBS. So I will screen share to you our test environment so that you can appreciate much more sa processing of your fidelity bonding through OFBS. So first, we will register or enroll your administrator, approver, and user into the system. So your agency administrator, we will be the one who will enroll your administrator, while your agency administrator will be the one we will be enrolling your approver and user into the system. So I will share to you the test environment. So this is the portal that you will be using in the filing of your fidelity bonding. So for example, first we will still enroll your nominated agency administrator into the system. So si BTr Provincial Office Administrator will first enroll your agency admin. So still the same, add user. So as to the username, we have a standardized username that we will be using to the system. So once we already enrolled your agency admin, we will also send to your agency admin a username generator so that he or she will have a guide in enrolling your approver and user. So not a standardized na username. So I will stop share sa kani. I will show to you the username generator. So this is our username generator that we will be using in creating your username to the system so that we will have a standardized username. So first, we are creating our agency admin. So for example, Region 7, the region is Region 7, Province Bohol. Then type, auto-drop niya siya NGA, LGU, GOCC, or GFI. You will choose LGU. Tapos, you will choose here, approver or encoder. So approver is your head of agency or your alternate. Your head of agency can nominate your agency admin, can encode alternate from your approver, which is the head of agency. So tungod kay busy man ang ato ang municipal mayor, so pwede yung sa agency admin maka-encode o alternate approver sa system so that maka-open siya sa system. For example, we are still enrolling our agency admin. Tapos city or municipality ni siya. So example, Clarin ganyan ng buntag. So karon we will example Lila. Tapos the surname of our admin, for example, Lopez. Then first name, for example, Judy. Tapos middle name, my middle name, then my email address. So for demonstration purposes, for email address, I'm just using email on deck for demonstration. So this is already the auto-generated username for our LGU administrator. So we'll just copy the email ad, then we will input here sa atuang system. So the email address. So I'm showing to you email on deck for demonstration purposes lang siya. So that we will not create email address nga tinuod. So for example, I will just alter some details sa admin kay I already use it man sa city government. So we'll show here a then for example, I'm enrolling your agency admin, my name, tapos middle name, last name, tapos position title. So we should be very careful in choosing position title. So for example, agency admin. So we'll just choose here agency admin. Tapos the user group, you will choose here LGU city municipality. So LGU city municipality. Then next, we will just enroll system role is LGU city admin, city muni admin, municipality admin. So as you can see, the system role and the position title is the same. So dapat it is compatible. Kung dili ni siya compatible, what will prevail is the access rights. So for example, admin diri, but your access rights na input diri is a user. So user iyahang access rights, dili admin or dili approver. So dapat we should be very careful sa pag-choose sa ato ang access rights o ato ang position title. Tapos region, Central Visayas. We will choose Central Visayas. Then auto drop po ning sa provinces, makita naman siya mga provinces. Ayan, okay. Hindi siya ma-auto drop. Ano? So we'll choose Bohol. Then city or municipality that you are from. So for example, Lila, example lang yung Lila, Bohol. So first, before you click submit, you review. Sorry, na disconnect. Balik. So you will review na sa imong na-encode kung sakto na imong na-register. Kung okay na, you will click the button submit. So we are still enrolling your agency admin. So I will approve your agency admin. So user management, approve users. So I can already see that I have enrolled your agency admin. Then for approval, so I will click the approve. So once approved, that's the time that your agency admin will receive sa iyang email, sa iyang credentials o temporary password. So your agency admin will now receive its credentials. So we will just copy the credentials sent by the system. Now, kay naka-enroll naman ta og agency admin, so it's the time that your agency admin having its credential to enroll its own approver and user into the system. So that's why it is called decentralized, because si agency admin na ninyo, sila na may mo-enroll sa inyohang approver o user sa system. So it's not BTR that will be enrolling your approver and user into the system. So decentralize ang ato ang enrollment process sa system. So si agency admin should be very careful on the details or access rights that he will be enrolling sa system. So example, kay naka-receive naman sa email si agency admin sa iyang credentials sa system, we will now register our LGU approver and user sa system so that maka-apply na taog fidelity bond. So first, we will enroll our agency approver. So as what we have said, your agency approver is your municipal mayor. But due to their busy schedule, they can have an alternate approver to the system. But of course, they are the principal approver to the system. So it's now the call or discretion of your agency approver to nominate, because you are the one, your agency admin will be the one to check, to enroll your approver. But still, is the mayor nga ang principal approver sa system. So for the first time that you are using this system, you will be asked to change your password. So dapat kung mag-change mo password, one uppercase, one number, the minimum of 8 characters. For demonstration purposes, ato lang sa do not change ang password. So for enrollment of our agency approver, we are already in the portal of our agency admin. So you're in the navigation panel, your agency admin will click user management, then manage users. Then we'll click add user para ma-add na to si agency approver. So username, as what I have said, dapat mo use yung agency admin atong username generator. So for example, then email address. So atong sang supplyan og email address. So you will just generate sa email on deck sa temporary password. So we have a email then. Sa username, we will share to you the username generator. So example, we are enrolling our agency approver into the system. So still the same, region R7, province Bohol, type is LGU. Tapos the role will be approver. For example, the city or municipality, nila, then the surname of our agency approver, example lang, for example, Bolasa. Then yung first name, Carmelina. Tapos middle name, Luzon. Then email address, we will just copy the email address. Then automatically, there is an auto-generated username for agency approver. So we'll just copy the auto-generated username, then paste to the system. So we have already a username. Ako lang i-alter gamay kay due to nagamit na nako ni sa city. So HS. So first name, for example, of our approver, example lang siya. So Hermelina Lozano Bulasa. Tapos position title, you will choose here agency approver. So dapat agency approver. Then yung user group, LGU City Municipality. Tapos the system role, LGU City Municipality approver. So dapat ang system role o ang position title dapat compatible or the same. Okay, aron walay issue kabahin sa access rights. Then sa location, still the same, Central Visayas. Then province, you will choose here Bohol. Tapos city or municipality, auto-drop niya siya, makita na siya lila. So, you will review kung sakto na. So, you will click submit. Upon clicking submit, automatically, once enrolled na mo ang approver sa system, he or she will now automatically receive his or her credentials and temporary password. Because si approver, auto-approve siya sa system, no need siya i-approve. So we have already our username and password. So we will copy this and then butang nato sa notepad para di ka makalimot. So we already have the credentials atong approver. So kay naman gyapon ta sa portal ni admin ni LGU admin. So ato na pong i-add sa ato ang user sa system. Still the same, we will provide an email address of our agency user. So for demonstration, we will still use email on deck for a temporary email for demonstration purposes. Then for username, so still the same, we will use the username generator for our user for the system. User or encoder. So I will share to you the username generator for our user for the system. So example, the municipality or city, Lila Gyapon. Tapos ang surname, for example, Renos. Tapos, ang first name, Liza. Then, family name, Luminarias. Then, the email ad. Tapos, the email ad we will use. Then, we have the auto-generated username. So, we'll just copy this. Then, we will input those data sa atong system. We'll just alter something kay nagamit na maguni siya sa city. So first name sa atong user sa system, for example, Liza, middle name, Luminarias, then last name, Renos. So ang Renos, ang Enye, dili siya usable, di siya magamit sa system. So kung nay Enye, so more or less N ang gamiton. Then position title, agency user. Tapos ang user group, LGU City Municipality. Tapos system role, LGU City Municipality user. Then yung region, still the same, Central Visayas. So province, auto-drop niya siya, Bohol. Then still the same, the municipality is Lila, or our example, Lila Bohol. Review first before clicking submit. So atong i-review, then we will click, so as you can see, position title is agency user, system role is LGU City Municipality user. So the same siya, compatible. So review, okay, click submit. Upon clicking submit, the agency user does not automatically makareceive sa iyang credentials kay need pa man siya i-approve ni agency approver. So we will log out kang agency admin kay si agency admin na may allowed na mo enroll kang agency user. So we will now open atong i-example lang kita po sa agency approver. Ato lang i-open ang account ng agency approver. So we will open the credentials of our agency approval.
The online
So we will open the account of our agency approval. So once sign in, so for the first time na ma-open si agency approvers and credentials, still say mo pop out ding, would you like to change your password? So in case mag-change mo yung password, dapat na one uppercase, one number, ding minimum of 8 characters. So for demonstration, mo do na change lang ta para mas madali. So pwede nyo to i-change. So diri si agency approver aron mag-approve siya o user, i-click niya sa navigation panel kaning user management, approve users. Tapos makita niya diri for approval niya. For example, si Liza Renos, ang LGU City Municipality niya user, for approval ang status niya. So the agency approver will approve or reject the access rights for Miss Liza Renos. So we'll just click approve para maka-receive na siya credentials. So once approved, our agency user will receive siyang inbox o credentials. So naka-receive na credentials si agency user. So mana ni siya ang credentials ni agency user. So as you can see, the credentials of agency user is email ad. So email address siya, di siya username. So nasa @.com siya. So that's the uniqueness po sa credentials ni user sa system. So we will just copy this sa atong notepad para dito makalimot. Then next, kaya na naman tayo credentials ni user, pwede na taka-apply o fidelity bond, kaya naka-register naman ta. Of course, you can enroll as many user as you can. But of course, for approver, limited lang siya to 2. Dapat na lang kay principal o alternate na approver sa system. Well, sa administrator po ninyo, good as 1 lang ta. Pero of course, we can have one admin, alternate admin, in case po mag-leave po yung admin. So we sa Bohol, we would like na po alternate administrator. So in case mag-leave si admin, maka-add siya, ang inyong alternate admin, maka-add po siya another administrator o another user sa system in case mag-leave ang administrator. So let's now input the credential of our agency user sa tuwang online fidelity bonding system para maka-apply na tag-fidelity bond. So log in na si agency user. So still the same, pag first time niyo mo gamit, muna mo pop up, would you like to change your password? So dapat one uppercase, one number, then minimum 8 characters. So ato lang sa ning i-do na change for demonstration purposes. So we are now already sa agency user. So we will now file our application for fidelity bonding. So si agency user naman ang may ability or role na maka-file or maka-input sa system sa application for fidelity bonding. So sa navigation panel, i-click ni agency user ng manage fidelity bond. Once click, makita niya siya ang new bond. So facing your computer at the right side ng new bond. So as what I have said or I have discussed, why new bond? Because wala man kay migration from the old to the new. So new bond. So all applications going through the OFDS, all application are new. So example, we will put here sa name of official, Juan, then wala siya extension name, middle name niya, for example, Aquino, surname De La Cruz, address niya is Rio Andre lang, building, ang building niya. Tapos, taga Poblacion 2 lang siya. Example lang ng Poblacion 2, bisag wala sa Lila. Ito lang example ng Poblacion 2. So, province, auto-drop po ni siya. You can choose here province, but automatically ma-field ni siya ang Bohol. Kay Bohol man ang credentials ninyo daan. Tapos, city or municipality, asa ka nagpuyo. For example, Lila, you will choose here, Lila Bohol. Then date of birth, pag-click ni mo ani sa field na calendar ani mo gawas, you can choose the correct your birth date. So auto-fill lang nato ni para mas madali. Then yung place of birth, for example, Cebu City. Gender, male or female, so male, si Juan de la Cruz. Then TIN number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sample lang yun siya, but you need to input the correct TIN. Then civil status, single, married, widowed, separated. So butang lang natog single si Juan de la Cruz. Your contact number, so your contact number must be an active or dapat matawagan kay in case there are problem sa inyong giscan email nga application form, we will use the contact number registered sa inyong application for follow-ups. So please provide a correct contact number or kanang active contact number. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lang. Tapos ang email address, example, juan@gmail.com. So sample lang na siya. Next is your monthly income. For example, 30,000. Then estimated expenses. So monthly estimated expenses must not be more than from your monthly income. So 20,000, example. Then have you ever been separated from service in any of the following modes? Whether resignation, retirement, draft from roles, dismissal. So if yes, you give details here. If kung no, so no need to give details. So no lang nato ni for demonstration. Have you ever been found guilty of any administrative offense? If yes, give details. Tapos kung no, no lang. Have you ever been found guilty of any criminal case before any court? If yes, give details. Kung no, no need to give details. Pero kung yes, you will be given details here, then case number, date filed, and status of the case. Then as per review nimo, okay na himuhang na-encode ng application sa first portal, so click continue. So next will be your character reference. So you need to give 3 character reference. So for example, this is my 3 character reference. So we will just input autofill lang nato ni para mas madali gamay. So if you are applying for more than one, so just the same, click new ban para isara siya ka list of banded. So as what I've said, sa number 15, I declare the answer questions are true to the best of my knowledge. Then can government issued ID card. So auto drop ni siya, you'll just choose ang ID card na sa imong possession. So na GSI, passport, driver's license, GSID card, SSU MID, PhilHealth ID, PIN card, postal, voter's ID, PRC card, senior citizen ID, OFW card. So for example, GSIS. So for example, ang card number 1234, date issued June 11, 2019, place issued, for example lang, Tagbilaran City, tapos date accomplished is today. So okay lang siya, we will click continue. So you already now sa third nga portal, the declaration of your accountability. So as what we have said, your bond period coverage, you can choose by default it's 1 year, but you can choose for the extended 2 or 3 years. So if you chose 2 years, of course, your fidelity bond will be good for 2 years. For example, 7.5 annually times 2, so 15,000. So for example, we chose only 1 due to 1 year pa na budgetan sa ato appropriation. So for example, si Juan de la Cruz, he is the municipal treasurer of Lila. So as on public funds, si municipal treasurer as signing officer na siya. So as an accountable officer, you are the one who knows best kung pila yung maximum ang imong accountability nga imuhang mapirmahan. So once you know kung pila yung nadakan nga mapirmahan yung mga transaction, so you will input here. For example, maximum transaction that you will sign as signing officer for all disbursement vouchers for your municipality. So you will input here. For example, the maximum is 5 million. So we will write here 5 million. In case ikaw pa siya property custodian sa inyong munisipyo, sa inyong LGU, you will input here property. So property, plant and equipment is net book value. Then kung ikaw pa siya supply officer, inventories, you will write here. Kung wala na, so assigning officer lang ka sa public funds sa inyong municipality. So public funds lang. Pero if you have also forms and other valuables, so internal revenue stamps na sa imuha, you will input here pilay ang value ato. postage and other stamp stock, official receipt, other forms and valuables. Then at the bottom, you can see the total accountability that you declared, then amount of bond recommended by your accountability, then premium. So this is the computation na pinabayaran na nimo. So kung okay na, pag-review nimo sa taas until sa ubos, still click continue. So now, you can see the summary of your applied fidelity bond. So the bond coverage that you chose is one year. Total accountability that you declared as an accountable officer, 5 million. Amount of bond recommended, 1.5. Premium is 22.5. The name of agency, office or agency, LGU City Municipality, Lila Bohol, Province or Region, Bohol, RO7. So here in the title of position or designation, so what is your position based on your appointment? So here you can see city or municipal treasurer. So in case, for example, revenue collection clerk, wala man diri sa revenue collection clerk, wala man diri sa drop down, you can choose this kaning others. When clicking others, you can input here the correct position. For example, local treasury operations officer 2 ka. So click others, then right here manually, local treasury operations officer 2. Then that's the time that you will input here the second position, whether you're special collecting, special disbursing, or unsa ba. Or liquidating officer, kung wala diri ang liquidating officer, you will just click others, then input the correct designation nimo. Pero we are applying for municipality or municipal treasurer. So let's auto drop na aman siya, city or municipal treasurer, okay na. Next is the station or division. So you need to input here the correct station or division ninyo sa municipality because the addressee of the confirmation letter is generic. So the addressee will be, for example, the municipal mayor, Municipality of Lila, Province of Bohol. So for your station or division, input here, Municipal Treasurer's Office, Lila. So that we will know that the bondable public officer, yung division sa Municipality of Lila is from the Municipal Treasurer's Office. Then date of assumption, when can I designate, for example, acting municipal treasurer ka, when can you designate sa Bureau of Local Government Finance as acting municipal treasurer. So example, you had been designated last year pa, February 4, 2020 as acting municipal treasurer. So you will just input here February 4, 2020. So you will review first kung sakto na ba ang mga details ng imong na-input. Kung okay na, you will click finish. So once click na nimo ang finish, you will be redirected sa imong dashboard. So as you can see sa dashboard, na imong na-encode ng application, ang status niya is for agency approval. So let's go now sa portal ni agency approver. So at least ma-inform po sa agency approver nga nakagi-apply nga fidelity bond, so pwede nimo siya i-inform nga nakagi-apply nga fidelity bond. So we are already opening the account of our agency approver. Kaya itong i-approve ang application for fidelity bonding. So for approval of fidelity bonding application, agency approver, i-click lang ni approver sa navigation panel, yung fidelity bond approval. So makita niya sa iyang dashboard, yan ay application si De La Cruz, Juan Aquino for fidelity bonding. So ang status for approval. So i-click lang ni agency approver kaning button nga approve. So once na-click na niya ni agency approver, makita na niya ang gi-encode nga application ni accountable officer. So yahaning i-review kung sakto ba ang pag-fill up. So kung okay lang, next page. So kaning sakto ra po, so next page. Then here, as a head of agency, so it is the responsibility of your head of agency to declare properly the accountability of your accountable officer. So as per seeing the accountability declared, for example, public funds, 5 million raman ang i-declare ni accountable officer. So para ni head of agency, gamay ra kaayo, pwede niya i-click ning suspend. tapos ma-redirected sa atong dialog box, he will state the reason why iyang gisuspend application. So for example, gisuspend yan ang state ang reason, suspend please correct your amount of accountability assigning officer from 5 million to 20 million. So based on the transactions that we are signing in the LGU, your accountability must be 20 million. So kung ihaning i-correct kay much knowledgeable man mo sa inyong transaction compared from us from BTR. So kung for example, i-approve lang ni nato, so i-next lang nato ni para for demonstration. So di ba there are also instances when COA is conducting its annual audit your municipality, they will also see your confirmation letter of your fidelity bond. So upon seeing, reviewing your transactions, comparing your fidelity bond, so within the year, you can apply for increase at accountability. So sa among slide presentation, you already see how it is to be how to apply for fidelity bond for increase. So you just only cancel your previous bond, tapos renew cancellation, then tapos with credits ang inyong renewal. So this will be the summary of the applied fidelity bond of the accountable officer. So City of Municipal Treasurer in position, station at the Municipal Treasurer's Office, Lila. So the head of agency will now approve or reject the application processed by the agency user or the accountable officer. So ato lang ni i-approve for demonstration. So this will be the dialog box that will prompt for the agency approver. So this is to certify as head of agency of Lila Bohol, Region 7 Central Visayas. I verify that the truthfulness of the answer to the questions contained on the face of this form and found them correct insofar as can be ascertained. Hence, the undersigned is recommending approval and authorizing the request for application for bonding new of this accountable officer. Then click approve. So once approved, sa portal ni agency approver, siya lang man ang naay capability or ability na maka-pay online. So kung dili niya ning i-click ang pay online, by default, it will be for BTR PDO submission for payment. Why? Because for submission, i-submit ninyo inyong Form 57 nga approved sa inyong agency approver o ang inyong list of bonded for us to manually create the authority to accept payment. So once ato lang ipakita nga si over the counter kay wala man sila i-access or land bank kay DBP, for example, DBP, Ilhan Depository Bank. So we will log out. Then we will go back ang agency user para maka-print na ta sa atong approve application o atong list of bonded. So still the same sa navigation panel, click manage fidelity bond kang agency user. So here, so if you are applying for 1 or 3 or more, so you just only click new bond. So still the same, route magyapon na siya, paingon ni PDO ni approver. For example, kung naamoy 5 kabuk i-apply, so i-approve man na ni agency approver. So i-click lang na siya. So for example, you have 5, so automatically kung approve na ang application, so na siya checkbox diri sa left side facing your desktop computer, application number. So we'll just check this. Upon checking beside the application, so activated na ang button nga print list. So example 1 lang atong gi-apply, example. So click print list. So you will now input here manually kinsa nag-prepared by. So for example, ang prepared by si Liza, iyang position LRCO, tapos reviewed by Chloe, the Municipal Treasurer, example. Then certified by the head of agency, the Municipal Mayor, example. Then click print. So upon clicking print, you will now have your list of bonded. So no need for you to prepare your own list of bonded manually. So upon the system, you can already create your list of bonded. Then for your approved fidelity bond application at the user portal and under action, you can see GF57 color green. You'll just click this. Upon clicking GF57, you will now have your PDF file of the fidelity bond application. So still the same, kung over the counter ang payment, you will print the list of bonded 5 copies. Then the fidelity bond application form, 2 copies. Then you will attach your 2x2 ID photo. Then pirmahan ni sa accountable officer ni Juan de la Cruz. Then subscribe and sworn to before a notary public in number 16. Then number 31, this is certified as head of agency of Lila Bohol, the municipal mayor. Pirmahan ni siya sa municipal mayor. So after you already prepare this for over the counter for issuance of ATAP, you will scan email to our official email. Kay pandemic pa mangyapon. In case wala na pandemic, you will bring this form, approved application form, notarize, sign, and attach ang passport's 2x2 picture at our office for the issuance of authority to accept payment. So we will receive at this portion your application, name and signature of the BTR user who received your application, kung face-to-face, kung online, through email. We will receive, print, and attach our signature here. Then check application as new, then date for when received. So it's still the same. You will scan email, give us your preferred government bank and its branch, so that we na-disconnect na po ko. So this will be the application form that you will be sending to us through email. So kung wala na yung pandemic, you will come to our office for the issuance of ATAP. So that will be the process. So let's go now. So frequently asked questions. So how do I access OFBS? So OFBS can be accessed through the following link. So https://fidelitybonding.treasury.gov.ph, or just simply type in your desktop computer with internet connection fidelitybonding.treasury.gov.ph, or through your mobile phones with internet connection sa inyong browser kaning fidelitybonding.treasury.gov.ph, so that you can access the OFBS. Then what browsers are compatible with OFBS? In terms of browser, it is accessible to all browser like Chrome, which is the suggested by our system developer, Firefox, Safari, and Edge, but except to Internet Explorer due to its obsolescence and security issues. So what is the minimum internet speed requirement? So the minimum internet speed should be at least 5 Mbps, which is the usual minimum internet speed of other service providers. Data for phones can also handle the minimum internet speed of 5 Mbps. So is the system accessible 24/7? Yes, the system is accessible with available for 24/7. So because it is available over the web, but your application will be processed during the official working hours by your BTR field office personnel. As of the moment, our official interim work schedule during this COVID-19 pandemic from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mondays to Friday. So in case there are the surge of the applications that we receive online or through the email, so the processors may opt to work beyond the office hours just to catch up the volume of applications that we are receiving. So what is the procedure for forgotten username or passwords? So in case of forgotten usernames or passwords, the user has to inform its agency administrator for the deactivation of the account or for the creation of the new account. So otherwise, it's just a matter of giving them a new username and password by your agency administrator. So in case naman po, your agency administrator is the one who forgot his username or password, it is us from the BTR provincial office who will enroll again your agency administrator. So we will just only deactivate the previous because of the forgotten username or password. So it's just a matter of giving another username and password for your administrator. So what if I need help using the OFBS? So for general inquiries or assistance in using the OFBS, you can contact our help desk at online fidelity support at treasury.gov.ph. So you can also contact us through our email, bohol@treasury.gov.ph, or through our landline number, 412-3662. So that will be all for the presentation of the online fidelity bonding. So right now, we will open the floor for the question and answer. So first, we will see sa chat may question. Sir, if namatay ang mayor, need pa ba mag-apply ang vice mayor nga mapuli? So this question, if kung ang vice mayor may fidelity ban, so no need to apply for fidelity ban. But in case the mayor doesn't have any fidelity ban, so mo apply og fidelity ban si ang by rule of succession, he will assume the mayor's post, so he will apply for fidelity ban in case wala siya fidelity ban. But of course, kung mas gamay ang fidelity ban nga gi-apply sa inyong LGU for your vice mayor compared sa fidelity ban sa inyong mayor nga incumbent or katong na deceased nga mayor, so of course, you will apply for increased accountability of your vice mayor from the current to the new accountability for the mayor. For LGU Duero, can we have the link of the test environment? After the test link for the test environment, sir, it is for dili siya namo pwede mahatag sa inyo ha, because it is for our demonstration purposes sa inyo nga end. But we can give you the manuals or guidelines for filling up the application online. So kay it is kuan mong good mo down mo good ang system kung daghan mo gamit sa mong test environment. But of course, up naman ang actual environment because the online fidelity bonding system was up last May 3, 2021 together with one other system with the Bureau of Treasury, which is the National Government Collection and Disbursement System. For our Ma'am Lila, our contact number of our office is 412-3662. That is our official landline number. But of course, we have also official mobile number that we are using karon for our para mag-follow up ni sa mga LGUs. So we will also post it namo pa siya sa mong email. Pag mag-email mo sa mua, at the bottom part na dito ang among official mobile number. In case you have kanang maglisod mo kung landline ang inyong gamiton pagtawag sa mua. So pwede po ang mobile number. So Sir Hagna, sir pwede ba usa lang ang user gamiton mag-apply or inyong bala? Yes sir, pwede isa ang mo process lang sa fidelity ban as long as muhatag og mga personal data inyong accountable officer, because there are certain personal data na kung ihatag niya sa imuha nga ikaw mag-input sa system kay naman tay Data Privacy Act kung di ba siya mulabag sa atong data privacy, because sa application form naman ko dito ang inyong contact number, contact person, TIN, ang inyong birthday, so all the personal information. So we will still check sa Data Privacy Act. So what are those nga need of clearance na other person may mo input sa system. So pwede man other person ang mo apply in behalf sa accountable officer as long as ni-give siya og clearance or ni-waive siya sa iyang data privacy. Kaya na yung mga sensitive information that the user will be encoding sa system. So pwede lang isa. Pero of course, the user, you can add many users sa system po. For LGUs manggod, by batch manggod ang pag-process sa fidelity ban. So usually, na 8 ka buok i-apply, na 10 ka buok, na 3, na 4. So, kung ano po, kanang madalang naman po ang isa ra po ang i-apply sa LGU. So, much more by batch magod ang application. So, LGU Duero, sir, please, the user account name. Yes, sir. The username account, username generator, we will send it to you sa inyong administrator because that will be the standardized username generator that we will be using sa OFBS. So there is a standard type of username generator that we will be using. So that we will be sending to your email that you registered sa atong registration form, or kung wala mo naka-register sa atong registration, we will send it sa municipal treasurer nga nasa among active list of municipal treasurers for the province of Bohol. Then also after this event, after this briefing, we will be also sending to you resource materials, which includes a manual for your reading, video tutorial for the step-by-step application of fidelity bonding. Also, we will be sending to you the attendance through Google Forms and feedback form for this afternoon's activity. So aside from the chat box question, you can also ask question by clicking the raise hand at your Zoom account. So any question from the group aside sa nasa group chat. So any question by clicking your raise hand, clicking the raise hand. So any question from the group? So wala na question. So of course, atong online fidelity bonding system, go live na siya last May 3. So murag late na ganita gamay sa ato ang processing sa fidelity bonding. So sorry na disconnect ko Taysa. Na disconnect. Okay, so the OFBS was go live last May 3, 2021. So even though late na tagamay sa ato ang online fidelity bonding system, so by the end of this month, we are looking forward that you will be now using the OFBS sa inyong filing sa inyong fidelity bonding. So we will discontinue kana manual filling up of forms. So you need to go through sa OFBS. So na clear akong chat. So so any question nga through chat, you can type again. Kaya na-disconnect akong internet. Tapos you can raise your click raise. So sorry, kanang unstable internet connection ako karon. So any question from the group? So any question? Sir, magpa-send po me sa video. Yes, sir. We will send to you the video tutorial sa online fidelity bonding. So any questions sa presentation? So hope you can also ask us for help sa pag-fill up sa online application in case you have any concern sa pag-fill up sa application online. Okay, all application for fidelity bonding will be online starting this end of this month. So hope you will be using the system. So it will become easier for you. So in case na po may land bank link biz, so much better yung gamiton ng land bank link biz portal. So kung namoy i-access o namoy kwarta nga for reimbursement na lang inyong fidelity bond, aron dili mo ma-hassle og pila sa land bank or sa DBP, so you will choose land bank link biz portal. So dapat na lang tay i-access o natay funds. Kung di pa ta allowed mo cash advance of payment, so reimbursement. Pero kung dili gyud pwede reimbursement, magpa-issue tag check so manually over the counter transactions, we will issue ATAP. So ATAP, you will present it to the bank, still the same process. So you will just only be very careful in filling up your access rights. Sa babay mga reminders, access rights ninyo. You should be very careful, your location, your address, the name especially sa inyong name, you should be very careful kay kamo may nag-input sa inyong name. So masayop mong input sa inyong name, mapo na mo gawa sa inyong confirmation letter. So automatically sa system, kung sa inyong na-input, mapo na ma-print na mo. So we don't have on hand pag na wrong na ma-encode niyo sa system inyong ngalan, so mapo siya magawas. So you should be very careful by reviewing your application first before submitting and approving by your agency approver. So after this, as what we have said, we will send to your email the enrollment form for your agency admin for nomination of your agency administrator so that we can fast track the enrollment of your agency administrator. Because our head office is checking our enrollment sa mga LGUs, kung pila na ba LGUs nga na-enroll na mo as agency administrator or user sa system or kinsa ba nakabayad. So that's all. Wala na pangutana, wala ni raise hand para it's already 3:48, hapit na 4 p.m. We will now go to the closing remarks to be given by our beautiful Liza Ranyas. So take it over, Miss Liza Ranyas, for your closing remarks.
Thank you, Sir Jude. Pleasant afternoon, everybody. We hope you had a clear overview of our new system. This will help streamline our process and will provide online payment options. And in order to address the health protocols during this pandemic, this new system will be a big help. To our dear clients, it's been a pleasure for being with you today, for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend this orientation. Thank you for your patience and support. For assistance, you may call us at 412-3662 and email us at bohol@treasury.gov.ph. In behalf of the Bureau of the Treasury Regional Office 7 and Bohol Province, daghang salamat o maayong palis kanyang tanan o sa pagpangauli.
So thank you, Miss Liza, for the closing remarks. So as a commemorative, pwede ma-open na to ato ang camera para ma-screenshot na to. So pwede na to ma-open ato ang camera so that we can screen sa atong attendees. So pwede ma-open na to ato ang camera sa ato ang mga participants. So hope by using OFBS, you'll by applying your fidelity bond this end of this month. So hope you'll be using OFBS kay i-discontinue na nato ang scan email o manual writing sa inyong application form. So online, we'll be using online na from the end of this month until na pa ang system. So tanan will be online. So for any concerns, you can call us for any concerns and kaning help or kanang anything. Na may problem. Kung na may problem, we will contact our central office para ma-troubleshoot nato dayon. So ma-open na to sa wala na open. Sige, shy ang uban. Close ang camera. shy people ang uban. Sige, smile, give us your sweetest smile even na uban na face mask. So smile. So thank you all. So thank you all for attending this afternoon's briefing. So hope you will be using the OFBS. So thank you all. Goodbye. Anak ko na yung Malaysia. Ready? Nani siya na sila. Dito na ko na. Siya na to na.
Ma'am, pangalan lang sa DLG.
Mani siya na. Di siya na to na sila.
Pangalan lang sa DLG, ma'am.